McOnie, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, mate? All right?
I was pissing by your door.
Were you?
Do you not know that reference?
No, I do know that reference. I just took it literally.
Hello?
Yeah.
That would crack me up every single time. Like I could hear that joke every time I was in stitches.
It's got 100% hit rate for you.
Yeah, because he's a silly bumbling cop pretending to be
You're
he's
lucky
English
I know
pretending
this
to be
reference.
French in the sitcom Hello, wartime sitcom.
I think you've brought this up before. I think the only person I've heard this via is you.
I was pissing by your door. Passing by your door, like that's in case people don't know what I'm talking about. He's an English person trying to speak French and getting it wrong.
That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
Have you seen any of Foxy this morning? The Masters is on as we record this, by the way. If I sound distracted, that's what I'm watching.
I heard that Foxy's a little bit in the toilet. Can you bring us up to date, please, Mashy?
Yep, I can bring you up to date by confirming that he is slightly in the toilet. I couldn't tell you exactly what he's shooting. Oh, yes, I could actually. I can jump ahead on the run sheet slightly and go, Ryan Fox has some work to do to retain his cut streak at the Masters while defending champion Roy McIlroy made an early charge at Augusta today. Anything about the score here? Fox is some distance off the pace after carding a 5/77 with a lack of tournament golf in the lead up to the Masters, evident in the early holes. That's the kidney stones to blame. I'm just going to assume.
Yeah, kidney stones are a tough one. I had kidney stones in France, and
this
tell you what,
brings me more joy.
Tell you what, there's a lot of pain, but I was back out the next day, so I don't know what's going on, Foxy.
Yeah, you passed them like a champ, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened there. I reckon I just sort of I just manifested them out of my body or willed them out.
That's incredible.
You're supposed to piss them out, but catch them in a sieve or a coffee filter. The coffee filter was a bad idea.
Why?
The coffee filter, I'm back on the mic. The coffee filter, just everything went everywhere. There's piss everywhere.
Oh, I see, yeah. It's a little bit like pissing in the cup.
I was pissing by your door, and that's exactly what I was doing. So I just wanted to say, seeing McIlroy at the top of the leaderboard is no surprise to me. I think that as soon as you get the monkey off your back of winning one, you play with so much more freedom and just joy, happiness, and just like it's all good. He's got a career slam, so he goes out there as the defending champ. He's eating the food he wants.
Yep.
It's his menu.
Well, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. The fueling tactics are just all up to him.
Yeah, and everyone's going, what is this Northern Irish slop? And he's like, it's perfect for me.
At time of recording, he is sitting in first equal, 5 under with Burns, 67. Justin Rose, as always, in and amongst after the first round, but no doubt he'll shoot the bed and fall down the leaderboard in the days to come. I quite like Justin Rose.
Well, I like it. I remember when he was the prodigy, breathe the pressure.
Looks like he's been around the block a few times now, and then the tournament favourite Scheffler is currently sitting 2 under in 14th place.
Justin Rose, he does seem like a good bugger. He does look like an accountant or maybe just possibly a maths teacher.
He's got the worst kit out there, I think that's fair to say. His sponsors are fairly... You know how some people have cool golf sponsors and then other people have kind of lame accounting sponsorships or like law firm sponsorships or these weird, obscure financial sponsorships? He's running that on his polo. Someone's
going to drop this right on a dime. No, they didn't. Is that in the drink?
That's in the drink.
Okay.
Oh, that's a shit radio. Let's get the show on the road.
No, okay, wait. Just before we go. No, Justin Rose looks... there's one whole branch of my family that look like Justin Rose.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but anyway.
Oh, good to get that in. Yep. Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio, this is the agenda for Friday, about the 10th of April.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Well, let's move on. Let's flip this order a little bit. James McOnie, how good is the story of the Blues going full blonde in tribute to Cameron Suafoa?
Yeah, it's awesome. I saw Cameron at training the other day and walking over the track there at their training facility in Green Lane, and he was just overcome with emotion. I think it's been on social media. Yeah. It's pretty cool just seeing that commitment. Some people have shaved their heads, some people have gone full blonde. Bowden waited for his fancy Newmarket hairdresser to do it the right way.
He looks pretty hot though.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think he should keep the blonde.
He looks, yeah. I mean, honestly, Ryan Gosling. There's another social media video out like that, but a lot of them just tried to do it by themselves at home and were burning their scalps and all sorts of stuff. I must confirm that whoever's commentating this weekend, the National Bank horse now looks like My Little Pony.
It's that. I think that's probably the honourable mention for either the best or the worst, wherever you're going to sit on it. I don't know. Zahn's a great man, but yeah, it's quite bizarre seeing the National Bank horse go to My Little Pony.
Yeah.
Has he kept the same lid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the exact same hair trim, but just now bleach blonde.
Because he had black hair, the whole thing is you can't just go blonde.
No, okay.
You have to pretty much bleach it completely.
Because otherwise you end up green.
That's right. And then you put some colour in it. Joe knows.
Have you ever done a bleach blonde thing?
No,
Joe?
I've gone black. In my emo days, I went black.
Did you?
Yeah, black. Full black.
You couple that up with an eyebrow piercing?
Big full fringe.
Yeah, I can see this.
Straightened with a lip piercing.
So you're like that character of South Park?
Pretty much, yeah. I modelled myself on Tom DeLonge.
Now, what has Cameron been diagnosed with exactly?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's a real hospital pass. There,
no, sorry, I'm not exactly sure what it was either. But
he is terminal, so it's not good.
No.
Yeah. It's
okay.
not,
Well, our
it's
thoughts going out to him, and that's awesome that the boys are doing some cool stuff around that to support him through it. But I think Bodie, I put him straight in my fantasy team this weekend.
Oh, Blues by 13, easy.
I think the Blues might do some damage with those new lids.
Yeah, possibly. They're down in the cake tin though, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Speaking
nice of the cake tin to blonde all their seats as well.
Yeah.
They could do with a bit more purple shampoo.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the Super Rugby round in just a moment. But speaking of here, have you seen that son of a Mitch has been the victim of a serious hate crime as he receives a hairdryer for his man of the match performance? Daryl Mitchell, if you're not familiar with Daryl Mitchell's work, he's got no hair. So I'm not sure quite what he's going to do with that, but it's a lovely looking hairdryer there. Is that a Dyson? No, it's not a Dyson. That's a shame. The PSL has committed a terrible hate crime to Daryl Mitchell by, again, awarding him a hairdryer as the Player of the Match award. That was the headline, and I just felt like we had to talk about that. Son of a Mitch, he's just playing cricket everywhere, isn't he?
Is that also a $50 hairdryer? I'm just
it's not good. It's from Briscoe's on an Easter sale.
Pretty much.
That's an app. PSL, sort your shit out.
Yeah.
IPL's giving away like cars and giant holidays everywhere.
He can't even give it to his dad or anything like that. Like there's a limited range, but he can. Obviously, there'll be some women in the family who might appreciate it. I know that my daughter took her hair dryer. There was one hair dryer in the house.
Yeah.
She took it with her to Wellington. When she came back to my place, she said, "I can't stay here because you haven't got a hair dryer." Or there was words to that effect. It's like because they're planning for something.
Yeah.
That they're going out, and so I'm like, okay, well, go find a hairdryer. Because it's kind of essential. Yeah, but not for Daryl.
Majority of it, yeah, certainly not for Daryl, but majority of my relationship routine evolves around the hair washing cycle.
Yeah.
Is it that and tanning? It's
right.
You've got about 2 hair washes a week, and if it's a hair wash night, we're certainly not doing anything.
Right.
I'll have to be going asleep facing the other way. There's a new pillowcase put on. This type of thing. So
the new pillowcase, yes.
But I don't know if that's to do with tanning or not. There's a sack at some stage that she has to jump in and then just sleep in that all night.
Does she go to bed with the hair wet? Is that a thing?
I think so. I think that's a new evolution, though. I think for a while there that was bad and unhealthy, but now it's a new craze that I think she's falling asleep with some kind of oil in it. What are you doing for your hair? You've still got a great head of hair.
I'm just washing on the daily. I wish I didn't have to wash it every day. When it was longer and curlier, it was only every second or third, and it was good.
Yeah,
it works well that way.
You condition it?
No, I don't condition. I've got a double 2-in-1 dodgy thing. Like honestly, I might as well just use the dishwashing.
Is it a bit of Pert 2-in-1?
Pert 2-in-1, that's right. Yeah. No. Hey, just one thing on Daryl Mitchell, son of a Mitch. I was just wondering, has Kane Williamson released his book yet? Is there a Kane book out?
No, but I think it's. I've heard rumours that it's in the works.
There's a book in the works. Yes, there's someone that may work here is doing something with it.
Oh, Cleaver.
I was going to say, give you one guess.
Cleaver. But the thing is, it'll be a good book then. I think.
Is he the tell-all type guy?
once you talk to Dylan, you always reveal too much, don't you?
No, I mean steady the ship. Do you think?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
It's not up to. It's not. It's really. Look,
I wouldn't say he'd go full lifting the covers and just slag everyone off though, a la Glenn Turner.
but he's not. That's not in his nature, is it?
No.
That's the whole thing. I think steady the ship will probably just be interesting from the history perspective because he was the prodigy. He was that little kid who was amazing and scored all those runs. And Graham Thorpe gave him his cricket bat when he's a young fella. So there might be a bit of that sort of that tail along, and obviously he was there for all the captaincy drama. But I wonder whether cricket books just will never have the same impact as the days gone by, because back in the day you'd be waiting and even the photos were a surprise, whereas now they'd just say, here are some photos you've probably seen on Instagram.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I was young, I got this trainer who got me to do kombucha meditation, and you know what I mean? And I never went out. Whereas all those old books are like, well, actually, we went out the night before the biggest game of the year. It's kind of bullshit.
How many stories are there to tell?
Yeah, how many stories are there to tell? And I wonder whether maybe son of a Mitch might be, because his dad's this famous rugby coach, John Mitchell, there might have been, and he went and lived in Western Australia, there might be some, might be some yarns.
Yeah.
Just saying. But I reckon for the young one, the next one's coming through, it's all regimented and it's all documented.
Yeah. We already know everything there
Yeah.
is to know about our favourite athletes. I don't know if there's the market anymore as much as
No.
there certainly was for sports autobiographies. I remember the world used to stand still for a moment when your favourite athlete would bring out an autobiography.
Totally.
You're about to find out some new things that you never found out about. How does the process work? Do you know about it? So I don't know, a hypothetical writer, let's say Dylan Cleaver, would he sit down for a coffee with someone and then you find out things pretty quickly, or do you have to spend a lot of time with them to...
No, you do several interviews, I think, to get it to get everything sorted.
Yeah.
And now these days it'll be a little bit faster because the transcribing process, there's all those apps that
True
can
that.
pretty much regurge everything and spit it out. So, but the number of interviews and it's real nosebleed territory. If you're used to writing an essay or something that's 1,500 words, well, hey, this is 20,000 type thing, at least 50,000, 100,000 words. Yeah, I think I'm just plucking numbers out of the
Yeah, no,
out of
but
the air,
it sounds
but
Sounds legit.
But can you imagine all of that?
Yeah.
And then trying to think. I reckon you probably have 4 interviews, probably maybe 5
Yeah.
to get it just to nail it.
Early days,
Yeah,
life in the team,
yeah.
life as captain, and
Then come back
What's
and
next?
what's next, and come back and cover everything, because I think it would just be too exhausting to do the whole thing in one sitting.
have you heard the story that Kane Williamson's bat is on the cover of the White Stripes album?
Really?
Yeah,
Shit, that's cool.
Is that true?
yeah. The one, I think it's Elephant, the Elephant album. Kane Williamson's.
What, like a Gray Nichols is just
Yeah,
in the
You
back
look it up.
left? What? How did they come into
the
the
White
ownership of-
Stripes manager was when they were on tour in New Zealand. They went through Tauranga or went through Hamilton or somewhere, and he knew Kane, or he knew Kane's family, and the White Stripes were looking for a weird prop for the album cover,
Sure.
and he had this bat that he got from his, I think it might be cousin or something, from Kane,
Yeah.
and then he took it back on tour with him to the States, and then it's ended up on the album cover.
No shit.
Are you going to look it up right now?
Yeah, what's it?
I think it's Elephant. I think
Yeah.
we've talked about this before, but I can't remember if you guys were on. And there's a big article about it as well, and it's quite a crazy yarn that his bat is. So he would have been a kid when he did it.
Oh yeah. Jack White is holding a bat, but it doesn't have any labels on it, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, he's holding a bat, cricket bat.
He said, she said.
That's Kane Williamson's bat.
Wow, that's amazing. I wouldn't mind Kane Williamson to also just released a book on cricket nerdery as well. I wouldn't mind a couple of chapters on technique, and I don't know if there's a lot of room for that in an autobiography, but I'd like to know his net sessions, as a teenager, exactly what he was doing, what he was going through. I think I'm more interested these
How many
days.
throwdowns he had?
Yeah, I'm more interested to know how many balls he hit rather than the drama behind the scenes when someone's that good at a game. Shall we move on from cricket?
No, I was just going to say, Kane Williamson's one of those guys who you'd love to have a beer with, and you'd hope that he'd surprise you and get up and actually sing some karaoke and be amazing. You know what I mean?
He probably would be
Like
quite
super
good.
shy, not say anything for much of the night, and then he gets up and just a small town.
Well, he's good on the guitar.
Big journey guy.
Yeah,
He is good on the guitar.
is he?
Yeah, he's quite good. Probably
would-
better than Steve Smith.
Oh my days. That would be one of the better songs for him. Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I think that he's good at lots of stuff, but he's not one to blow his own trumpet at all.
No, that requires some
He's not a
dynamic
trumpet
vocal
blower.
range though. No, he wouldn't.
Not
be.
like most of the ACC. Basically, trumpet blowers anonymous. What happened with the ACC cricket game? Well, first of all, there was a game. I'm supposed to be the new coach.
Yeah.
And I said I would coach us to glory, i.e. one victory.
Did you? I didn't know this.
But it's fine because it was in Wellington. I couldn't have made it. But but I feel like I can bring the warring factions together. Maybe not Hoity J and Dylan Cleaver. I think that's irreparable. That's
you
there's
can't
no
come
way.
back from
That's Iran and USA. Actually, having said that, there is some.
That's right. There's years of tension there that no one will ever understand. But I don't.
It's a Lebanon or Israel. Those two.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But I mean, what else is there to say about it? We went to play another game of cricket to represent the ACC 11. We lost, and
G Lane made some terrible captaincy
decisions as he always does.
It's unlike him.
Some of the worst fielding positions I've ever seen in my life.
Oh no, he does that thing. Did he do the thing with all the slips? Everyone's in the slips.
No, he didn't do that. No, he
Okay.
just had like at one point he was running the world's straightest mid on, and like I'm not going to get technical on it, but I'm not going to also question it because I don't want to face any of the responsibility.
I think my first
the
role
loss.
as coach is to drop G Lane as captain.
Yeah, I don't hate that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell him, but hopefully he listens to the podcast because I'd rather him just hear it
Yeah.
and then fall on his sword,
And then he knows.
and then he knows it's done.
And then he's got a week to get over it.
Yeah.
And then by the time you see him next week, he's just moved on.
But can I just say, you had Grant Elliott in your team and you still lost.
and
Yeah.
Hamish Marshall
Oh my God.
and Jason Eaton.
Yeah, I saw the big Jason Eaton.
And many other decent cricketers.
It's just, honestly, it's unthinkable, but we can rebuild this. Well, there's nothing, it's
Well,
never
you-
been built.
What is interesting though, McOnie, this is the outlook of our batting innings, is myself and young Jacko opened up. And then in number 3, I believe Marshy came in. The top 3 batsmen, we all got 30 retired.
It was 100. You were 100 for none.
We were 100 for
Off
none.
about 7 overs.
So it felt like, because I think I saw that on social media, like we were finally posting a really competitive total.
We're off to a flyer.
178, was it, in the end?
in the end. And then G Lane and Grant Elliott came in, and G Lane scored 6 off 13 with the bat.
Oh no, so he's chewing up the balls.
Yeah, it was a cancerous innings. And then Grant Elliott wasn't doing too much either, I have to be honest. But I think there was a bit more going on because he was having to face his own son. And there was a family dynamic thing.
There's a lot of heat.
4 balls in, he did say, you know what, son, here you go fetch this, and put him over top of mid-wicket. But that was a bit of his only highlight of the day, Grant Elliott. I tell you what, though, those old boys that still play a lot of cricket, I think we talked about it yesterday, they've got an extra gear. I'm sure you've seen this in charity games as well when it's rugby or whatever. If you do ask them to just, would you mind just shifting up a couple of gears and seeing what happens, could you? And then Grant Elliott with the ball, Jesus, he's still got 120 clicks in him if he wants to.
Really?
Yeah, shoulder it down. He got through the yellow order pretty quickly. And he's still dangerously competitive.
And we
as
still
well.
lost.
No, we still lost.
Okay. all
Yeah.
right.
No,
Well,
there's not much more to say.
there's
about
no,
that.
let's not dwell on it now because I just think we need to just drop G Lane.
there needs to be an
It
investigation.
needs to be, yeah.
Yeah. So if you could
He's
have
no
that-
longer captain because I think you've just repeating that it's insanity, isn't it? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So
Well, the best
all we know is
predictor of future performance is past performance.
it's this exactly.
And what have we done every single time is lose.
And before we move on, how's the head today? James McOnie, you might not have heard, but Joe Jerry swung so hard at his first ball that he completely whooshed it right round and then hit himself in the back of the head with his bat. How was it?
Sore.
Yeah, still sore. Okay.
Have we got video of that? Like
That will be
It'll be
on
in
the
there
stream
somewhere.
somewhere.
okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a humiliator. I was wondering why on when we flew back, the cabin pressure might have done a little bit to my brain. It was fucking hurting.
Oh, is that right? So you
Yeah.
actually shouldn't have probably flown, eh? That's interesting.
You could have brain bleed.
Well, I probably shouldn't have pounded 17
Are you
hazies
sure it
afterwards,
wasn't the
though.
hazies the night before?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I reckon it was. Should we
Okay.
take a break and we'll come back and talk some Super Rugby, eh?
Yep.
Before we get stuck into this week's Super Rugby preview, just a reminder that we are going to Super Round in a couple of weeks' time down there in Te Kaha for Anzac weekend, and Reburger are sending 2 great New Zealanders to Christchurch for Super Round, flights, accommodation and 2 full days of live Super Rugby at the brand new 1NZ Stadium. Text Burger to 3236 to enter to win. All thanks to our mates at Reburger, craveworthy street food, freshly made. Grab it on Uber Eats or go into your local Reburger and pick that up. But again, just text Burger to 3236 if you want to join us in Christchurch for Super Round. This weekend, tonight's first game of the round, Highlanders taking on the Brumbies at 7:05. Who's winning that, McOnie?
That's a tough one to call because really the Brumbies are kind of the only Aussie team that travels reasonably well. Although the Western Force just lately have kind of, they've picked up their game. I would say the Landers actually might get this done. I'm just looking at their team.
The Brumbies still got C. Kale paying for them?
Yeah, he's in my fantasy team.
C. Kale?
C. Kale.
C. Kale?
Oh, C. Kale, yeah, he is C. Kale. Oh my goodness, Charlie Kale, you have to have him in your fantasy team.
Yeah, he is one of the...
a freak on fantasy.
I think he's the highest scoring flanker of the season, I think.
Yeah. Well, number 8, yes, and he does have that vibe that you could probably cast him in one of those movies, Inglourious Bastards or something like that. Look, you've got. I think the success story of the Highlanders for me is, apart from obviously Tangitau coming back from injury and being amazing, is just that the backline vibes. Jonah Nareki.
Vibes are there.
Yeah, the vibes are there. Tavatava Nawai and Jonah Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Jonah Lowe at centre, I like. I think Jonah Lowe at centre, he might not play Test rugby for us, but he needs to find himself another nation because I think he's got all the skills, and he's been a wing for ages. Now he's moved inside and he's kind of solid and fast, and I quite like.
Yeah, Jonah Lowe should look at the subscription for Ancestry.com to figure out whereabouts he can play.
He needs to go Ancestry on it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Needs to find 25% from somewhere pretty quickly, I think. What else are you thinking? Tomorrow afternoon, this is a great time for rugby. 2:05 in the afternoon, a fantastic time to watch a bit of rugby after lunch. Crack your first Export Ultra. Moana Pacific are taking on the Chiefs. You guys will pants them, surely.
And Rotes.
Is that in Road to Vegas?
Yeah.
Wowee.
Yeah, Rotorua, Moana Pacifica, there's lots of kind of noise coming out about how long they may last in this comp because financially it's tough for Moana, and look, that can't help you when you're, sort of trying to, I guess, get some runs on the board or some wins this season.
Have we spoken since the lights went out at North Harbour Stadium? It felt like a little bit of a metaphorical.
It was a bit, yeah, it was a metaphor. So, look, I think the Chiefs are going to win that one. Daylight rugby as well. How good is that? 2:05, and Triple T's back home playing, which is cool. And then you've got old D-Mac slotting at number 10. They've been toying with the old Josh Jacob thing, but I think this looks pretty good. And for your fantasy, keep an eye out for the centre for the Chiefs. Kyle Brown played for Manawatu, looked really good in the pre-season. So I reckon he might be all right just for a sneaky.
Triple T. Triple T.
That's Triple T, all right.
Shout out to Mike Hall.
I forgot writing that one. That was one of those ones where I handed them over. It's because
a real eureka moment, I can imagine.
It was
got those syllables to fit.
Back then, there was such what would you call it? Like a process of like, oh no, you can't record the song. We've got a guy who comes in, Michael, professional musician, and he does it on a Thursday or whatever. There was so much red tape.
Right,
like recording a song.
And
so
was it involving Tom Harper? I imagine he was the producer of it.
Tom Harper had to. He couldn't do it on a day when it wasn't scheduled in. When I was here, and so I went, oh, okay. And he goes, I'll just get some other guy to do it. I went, fine. And then in the end, I took matters into my own hands. So I sort of started recording. It's good because it forced me to learn how to record songs.
Yeah, scrape up on your production skills. Tom Harper had this great thing that he did where he was so transparent about his schedule that you couldn't question it. Like, you'd go, hey, Tommy, do you mind doing this for me Friday afternoon? And he'd go, no, like, I'll be at the pub. Can't do that. And you almost respected it because it was so honest. At least he's not kicking me till Monday.
Talented man, I must say, Tom Harper, but definitely a stickler for the schedule.
He loves a schedule.
Yeah.
Loves it. Forced draw.
Forced drawer, that is, whereabouts is it? We'll have a look. Oh, it's over in Fiji. Look, that's a coin toss, that one. It's a coin toss. Every now and then the Ndrua look bloody good. Who's this old bugger in the trees here?
Let's have a look.
Jordan Spieth is in trouble, I think.
I know a lot of boomers who love Jordan Spieth. He's kind of like their,
Oh, is it because he's
kind of
quite
the son-in-law they always wanted, that kind of thing.
traditionally handsome?
He's got a
Pants
good
are
ass
so
on him.
tight.
Oh my god, he's going gardening here.
Look at his ass. He's wearing white pants.
How's he getting out of this? He's not.
I think white pants have got to be the most potentially dangerous pair of pants to wear playing golf.
Well, for me, I honestly don't think. I mean, the white pants that's dangerous, isn't it?
Swamp ass. First you get the swamp ass.
There's swamp ass.
Then if anything gets away on you, then it's clear.
Just even lunchtime debris, lunchtime
Yeah.
sort of like, what would you call it, like safety net? Little safety, everything falling down.
It's like to Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's world where the second thing that you have to think about when putting a pair of pants on is what if things get away from you.
Yeah, you
Good,
can't
mate.
have. It's dangerous.
You're not going to have a kebab at lunchtime or Rory's frickin' whatever he's got, Irish stew.
Oh, that's old school there from Spieth. That's a real humbler. He's just had to do what I do there at Chamberlain, where he just has to just get his pitching wedge out and just put it 5 meters in front of him back on the fairway and go again.
Yeah.
Bugger.
So shout out to my friend's mum, Anne Alice of Te Awamutu. She loves Jordan Spieth.
Okay.
Because every now and then I'll catch up with the family back in TA or the Alice family, and she'll say, "Have you met Jordan Spieth?" I go,
Still not.
I can rattle through a fair list.
Yeah.
Scheffler, yes. Schauffele, yes.
Wow.
Rory, who he walked on by, but there's a fair list, but no, I can't impress her with Spieth. So the conversation dies for a little while, then we have to go, so how's your daughter? And then we move on because I haven't met Jordan Spieth.
I saw one of the great videos posted yesterday. It was a conversation someone was having about Zach Lomax, who's had quite an interesting, half decade or so in terms of decision making, and they were making the argument that is Zach Lomax one of the worst decision makers in sport over the last 5 years, is a man that keeps getting out of contracts, and he decided that he wanted to go to R360, which wasn't even a league that existed, and then he decided that he was not going to go back to the Eels, which he was having troubles with. He then thought about a UFC career for just a moment, and then he ended up going to Union so he could play the World Cup, but he ended up having to go to the Force. Is he going to be any good at Super Rugby? What do you reckon?
Well, in terms of
Union, I should say.
dicey moves, the Force are also in trouble, are in danger of shutting down because that mining magnate who funds them is losing a bit of interest, which they all do. All those guys are happy to throw, 10 million because it's nothing to them. But once it gets up to 20, 30, 40 million, they start going, I'm sick of this bullshit. Let's pull pin. So anyway, he's gone. I think he'll be good. I don't blame him for trying to chase that Saudi money with no ethics whatsoever. I mean,
Neither do I.
Yeah, come on. The whole thing is that if you talk to the rugby agents around that time, they were saying Rugby 360 is happening. It's real.
Yeah,
it's going ahead.
Yeah, you had RTS lining up.
Yeah, that RTS they were adamant that it was happening, and then all of a sudden they pulled the pin on it. So I don't necessarily blame him because I think he would have been told by his agents that this is happening.
In respect to those that always go first, there was the same with Live Golf. The first person to do it, I have a lot more respect for than the eighth person that decides to go, head and shoulder, or, head down, let's make the move.
Because I don't think Zach himself is messaging Mike Tyndall and the Saudi royal family and going, hey guys, I'm just wondering, is this worth it? I'm not sure. I reckon he'll be bloody good. Like the Wallabies, I don't know if he'll get up to speed because it's World Cup next year, so he's got bugger all time. But, they get Mark Nwangani Tawasi back.
Mm-hmm.
Suafoa is still obviously that work in progress, so he should be ready. But their World Cup team could be bloody good.
Pretty devastating, eh?
And they'll have Razor as coach.
And Razor, after serving his 1 year stand down, comes in. Imagine if he coached England, though, and Hosker Satutu was there trying to get selected for England. That's what worries me about it. It's like those two need to have a beer soon and just say, hey, no matter what, we're buddies now.
We're good, eh?
We're good, right?
Tomorrow night's 7:05 game is an absolute stonker. The Blues taking on the Hurricanes. Who are you picking there? Top of the table clash?
Look, I honestly think the Canes are looking so good this year. The Blues are a bit of a well-oiled machine, though. You know, like they stick to their knitting. When you watch them play, it's like bludgeoning forwards, Bowden just pulling the strings, even bludgeoning backs, Caleb Clark and AJ Lamb. Imagine tackling them in some set play scenario. Freak you out. But at the same time, I think the Canes will win that one. I think they will.
And then tomorrow night at 9:35, the Crusaders will no doubt pump the Reds. How did you feel about the Crusaders' performance last week? I was quite excited about it. You'll be surprised to know.
Well, I mean, they're always going to do that, aren't they?
They've got that in them, yeah.
Yeah, they've got that in them.
Cody Taylor's still got that in them?
I'm glad when I saw whenever you see hookers scoring hat tricks or more, you always just go, are they just at the arse end of the human centipede?
Yeah, 5 metre lineouts.
Credit to him, there are a couple where he's actually running.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I know diving from 1 metre out, that deserves a bit of credit, but being at the arse end of a centipede should not be counted on your try scoring list. It shouldn't, because when you imagine giving a golden boot, you know what I mean, like the equivalent of the golden boot, the top try scorer of the World Cup, and it goes to fucking Malcolm Marx or whoever the French hooker is, or you know what I mean? Like
Amy Cocaine, was it Amy Cocaine that was just scoring tries off?
Jamie George.
Yeah.
Here is your top. He's the golden boot, the try scoring winning for the World Cup. It's Jamie George, and BLBRA scored 11 tries, but Jamie George got 12. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, is it similar to like a penalty in football, though? You know how there's a disclaimer made on people that score 40 regular season goals within the season or something like that, and then someone goes, oh yeah, but 22 of them were from the penalty spot. Is that similar to a human being out the arse end of a human centipede?
A little bit, but it does require
even
you
less
putting
respect.
Why don't?
No, I mean that's a fair point, but I think they're being the arse end of a human centipede. Like, for example, it's really just a choice because the Western Force put Tizano in there, right? It's not even their hooker. So Nick Dolly, or whoever their hooker is kind of getting his lunch cut in the hookers union by fucking Tizano, the open side flanker, because he's at the arse end of the human centipede.
Who says there has to be a hooker, though?
Exactly. That's why Tizano's probably raised that in a meeting.
I'm the captain here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at me. I'm the captain now.
How come in football, why does it have to be an own goal? Why can't it just be the person on the attacking team that kicked it
last?
Why don't they get the credit for the goal?
Well, because it wasn't on target.
Well, they do. It's not on target. Yeah, if it's not on target. If it's on target and it's a deflection, it's still your goal.
Right.
Yeah.
But if it was going wide and then
someone heads it back in, it's not your goal. It's we've got to name and shame the Muppet, and it'll forever be there on the score sheet.
What did you think of? Sorry, did you have one more thing on that?
No,
I was going to ask, what did you think of Dave Rennie's announcement yesterday? Well, it wasn't really an announcement, but it was another statement from another All Black coach saying they're going to be picked on Super Rugby form rather than reputation.
He sort of said that anyway in his entry press conference.
Yeah,
he's going Super Rugby form. I think that gives him a chance to sort of
pick his own team.
Pick his own team and not have any sort of dramas. Like, don't give me any dramas. I'm just going on form, blah, blah, blah.
Exciting for quite a few players, though. Like the number 10 jersey, for example. Who's that going to be?
I think it's a fair fight between old D-Mac, Bowden, and Richie Mo'unga when he comes back. Like, I mean, I know that you can't pick Richie Mo'unga on form because he's supposed to.
Because he hasn't played.
D-Mac hasn't played in that position. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like
there's going to have to be exceptions.
Yeah, I actually, if Dave Rennie wanted to really change things up, he'd probably go Ruben Love and just give him as many minutes as possible to see if he can be something different in that position, because that's probably the one guy who by next year, if you gave him enough time, enough runway, he could elevate to something special. I'm not saying that the other guys aren't amazing, but imagine if you could actually do that with Ruben Love, with his skill set. He's a bit of a freak.
Yeah.
And he's hot.
Fuck, he's hot. Like, I mean, honestly.
Problematically hot. Annoyingly hot.
You're selling merch, you're selling jerseys, you got the whole, tickets, bums on seats.
You've got the montages on Instagram of your training.
Yep.
He's ticking all those boxes. This week's TAB Game Day Good Punt, by the way, is a 4-legged multi. Caleb Tangitau to be an anytime try scorer for the Highlanders. Leroy Carter to be an anytime try scorer. Also, holy hecker, how am I pronouncing that name there? Finn
Caddie.
Thank you.
Oh, this is a good bet. That's a safe. I'd say this is the safest bet I've
Pretty
seen
chalk.
for a while.
And then
Pretty
Caleb
chalk.
Clark as well, and Severeese to score. That's paying $1,813, $1,813.16 for the $100 bonus cash. We're sticking down on that.
I'm going to copy that bet, copy and paste, because I think all those guys. If you, it's not as much. This guy looks like he's wearing Adidas slides at the Masters, doesn't he?
Oh my God,
Come
he
out
does
in
too.
slippers.
Is that Penge?
Pingy. He's a freaky looking dude.
Bingy. Because if you look at this bet, the wingers, they're not as much of a sure thing as they are in league.
Aye.
But in union this year, all these guys have been scoring tries for fun. So yeah,
Do you know also why that's a good bet?
why?
It's because G-Lane's not here and Joe Jury set that one.
Is that Joe Jury? Yeah.
He
Yeah, I
needs-
mean, Joe G Lane would by now out there. If you're listening to the podcast, hopefully G Lane would have realised that he's no longer captain of the ACC 11, and I mean, we're probably going to have a board meeting of some kind just to ratify it and rubber stamp this and say you're out.
we might need your help with that. You understand those processes better than we do, that's for sure.
Yeah.
A couple of Wires rumours. Let's just go over these quickly. Warriors coach Andrew Webster has shot down any talk of a prospective move for New Zealand international Matt Tomoko, despite the club's issues at centre. Earlier this week, the Daily Telegraph reported the 26-year-old had been offered to the Warriors, only for the Kiwi club to instead concentrate its efforts on signing Brisbane utility back Grant Anderson. Why not both? ? Well, I don't know enough about league, but I'm no doubt the boys on the Mayor Monday podcast will cover that off in some detail next week. By the way, they recorded an episode yesterday. Go check that out. The Notorious Pants Man Joel Harrison beaming in.
They did touch on this, and I think what they said was that because they wanted to get their Ruthless Pakeha boys together,
Oh, yeah.
and that's why they picked Grant Anderson.
Okay. Was that an inside scoop that they had?
Yeah, that was
it?
from the Joel Harrison.
That's amazing that he's got those types of contacts to figure out things like that.
It's a great white man's name, Grant Anderson.
I don't know much about Grant Anderson, but I'm just going to have a look at the what? Oh, wait a second.
You got a stat sheet there?
Someone here that's trying to phone me. I'm just going to bump them.
Yeah, I would.
Yep.
You can take it if you
flush
want.
them. Flush
No,
them.
He's freaking bumped. He's bumped. He knows it. So what the lineups in the grand final? Oh, that's right. They had Shibasaki and Katoni. McOnie Stagg
Yeah.
was in. They're in the centres. Yeah. McOnie Stagg, an early ACC nickname, that one.
It's a good one.
I don't know how I'd missed that one.
And then, they had bloody Tyson Smoothie and obviously Xavier Willison on the bench, so there was no room for him in the old grand final. They really is he a new Bronco?
Yeah, he's a utility, and so that's the rumor that he's what they're getting back for Mitch Barnett.
Yeah, I know, but where's he? Where did he come from? Where
Where
did
did
he
he
go?
go?
Where did he come from? Got now, Joe.
No one knows.
So the thing is, Tomoko obviously, not obviously, but he's a coolie. He was at school here at Grammar. I think he's a grammar boy.
Tomoko is a grammar boy.
Yeah, I think he's a grammar boy.
I won't hold that against him.
So, Anderson was at the Storm and then joined the Broncos. Yes, I know who we're talking about now. Yes, sorry. It's just he does feel like, there's a few. It's one of those generic names of a generic white guy in the NRL. I need a Shibasaki to take notice sometimes. Fine. Look, I know that the one thing I would say about the Wires at centre, and I'm not throwing shade on any of them because I actually really think there's some talented players in the centres, but that really is a problem position, Like that's think of a problem position. The wheelbarrow,
Yeah.
that's our wheelbarrow is the is centre, because Clinton Torpey was the last time I really felt about a Warriors centre.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Nailed on starter, he's going to score tries and cause problems. And, so it just seems to be one of those, it's a curse, isn't it? Because even Roger tried there.
Yeah, he didn't work.
Didn't work.
Rocco Berry gets injured every single time that he tries to play.
Yeah.
And Adam Pompey gets banned for running hard. which
Yeah.
didn't make sense.
Oh, that's
So
tough.
who are our centres in the 2011 grand final?
Oh,
Let's have a
God.
look. Let's have a look. You
I'm
keep
out, but-
talking, Mesh.
Shefflin out on the 6th.
We played
Currently
Manly.
2 under.
Manly and the Taylor brothers is all I remember from that.
You mean
Is it the Taylor brothers? Stewart brothers, yeah.
Stewart brothers, yes. Here we go. We had Lewis Brown
Oh, yep.
and Chris Naninu. You wouldn't have guessed that. Exactly.
Janino.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
that's
there you go.
Is Lewis Brown the guy that runs the Earls clothing company now?
He is a designer of clothes, yes.
Yeah.
Looks like a shark.
All the league boys wear
Cre-
Earls.
Credit to anyone out there shouting out, it was Lewis Brown and Chris Naninu, duh.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. There'll be some people out there.
But that just shows how much of centre is a problem position. It's a mix and match. Even for the Kiwis. Remember Simon Mannering, I think, played centre in our World Rugby League final victory.
Sure.
World Cup, anyway.
I mean, I'm not going to know.
Centre. It's the wheelbarrow. It's the crouching lotus.
It's the huntsman.
Is it the huntsman? Yeah, it's the huntsman. It's the position that's really tricky.
Let's take a break.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Goodness me, that intro comes loud through the cans.
That thing is very, very loud.
Can we get a new one? No, that's my job to make that. I won't know. Let's stick with that one.
Are we doing yours, please?
Yes, we are. Send us a message via the iHeartradio app. Just click that microphone button. We'll get to all of them at some stage. Excuse me. Sorry, frog in the throat. 4 to get through today. Yours, please.
G'day, cunts. Hey, I think I have to agree with G Lane. We've got to stop this whole Crusaders mana, Blues mana, Canes, all that kind of stuff. You know, you can't just go around saying it. You know, the Chiefs came up first and they did the right thing of painting it on a wall. So, you know, it means more to them because I've got it painted on a wall. Yeah, there's a lot of respect there that comes with painting something on a wall. So,
Yeah, I see what he's saying. Like, people are winding up G-Lane by just adding mana to the back end of all Super Rugby provinces at the moment. Unfortunately, I think Mana Canes is the one that
Mana
works
Canes is
the
the
best.
best one. Mana Canes.
Mana Canes
Mana
works.
Canes.
Mana Canes does work.
Crusaders mana, that doesn't really work, but it's funny.
The Crusaders have Live, Laugh, Love written on their gym wall.
Yeah.
The
Eat,
Blues.
pray, love.
Eat, Pray, Love.
Mm.
That might be the Blues. Next one, yours, please.
Boys, can you think of any other New Zealand teams that have fucking walked into a shitstorm like the fucking All Whites are going to at the World Cup? Opening match, Iran in America. Fucking hell. What have we got ourselves into? And yeah, Te Awamutu, the cocaine capital of the Waikato.
Is it?
Fuck McOnie, eh? On the nose beers.
I reckon if you asked for Coke in the Waikato, they'd go,
Zero sugar?
Yeah, they would have no fucking idea. But if it's become the cocaine capital, that'd be quite interesting. I don't know.
Was there a smuggling
who's
story
got
that came out of there or something?
But who's got the money in TA? This is the issue with that is, I don't know.
It must be out Cambridge way and stuff like that.
How much is
Be the
cocaine
horses,
these days?
Out towards the lifestyle blocks.
Here's a hospital pass question for you, Mashy. How much is cocaine these days? But no, the thing is, I reckon that it's true that Iran game in America.
About that. That's comedic.
It is a big hospital pass that, but it felt bad initially, and now obviously straight after.
Ooh.
And the other thing is, it's the All Whites. So as a casual American fan, maybe of African American descent, you'd be like, "Yeah, on the All Whites are playing the Iran. What the fuck?"
I know. Well, can you imagine that in South Africa, which is where the last time they played in the World Cup? And yeah, that was tricky.
Next one, yours, please.
G'day, Mashy. Voice is somewhat repaired. And tail firmly tucked between my legs. I'd like to apologise for calling out your bad facts with my own bad facts. Yeah, no, the Wrexham played the Phoenix start of this season, last year, didn't they? No, my bad, buddy. We all make mistakes. Your geographical knowledge of the South Island is still shit, though. Love yous, fuck yous.
I love that every time someone sends us a yours please, it's while doing something else.
Yeah, there's a vacuuming guy. Why was he disputing your Wrexham facts?
No, because I said it was a bit of a de-shrinker that now Auckland FC are versing Tottenham, even though Tottenham are about to be a championship side by the looks of things. And these fucking Man City chase some serious charges and get relegated to the championship themselves due to a deduction of about what is alleged to be 60 points. Anyway,
Yeah.
and then he came in and said, hey, fuck you, we actually had Wrexham.
Who are about to be a Premier team.
And then it was just the wrong season. Like, I didn't really think about the fact that, I think I just said to him that I hadn't really forgotten about that. That was just last season and this is this season. And he said, he's just taken it on the chin there so nicely. And accountability is important here at the ACC. We don't have a lot of that, so it's nice to hear from a listener.
Not from the leadership, anyway.
No, certainly not from the leadership. We like to point fingers as much as possible. If I was you, contributor, I'd just
blame Lane.
The Spurs thing is like they don't have many stars, and Richarlison might be, if he's in the World Cup squad for Brazil, he might not turn up. So in terms of like coming to see stars, they really need to make a signing in the off season for it to be. But it's still pretty cool. Like I think it's pretty cool. Like this is what we've always wanted. Really, was when you see those Premier League teams cruising around Australia and Hong Kong in the off season. It's like, what about us? And good old Spurs has thrown us a bone.
They have. Next one, final one, yours please.
G'day, Hurricanes fan here.
Canes.
Look, I just don't feel like going to the games because it's a lot cheaper. I like to sit in the comfort of my own home and just watch the game. It's a lot easier and a lot cheaper on the bank account because I ingest about 12 beers over a course of a Hurricanes game, and I don't really feel like paying $10 for a pie. But, Hurricanes money, fuck you, G-Lane.
Well, I think that's the issue, isn't it? Nationwide. I don't know if that's Hurricane specific. I think that's an issue facing a lot of Super Rugby organisations, is people do enjoy sinking 12 beers on the couch at home because it is cheaper.
This is where NZ20, and I know that yourself, Joe Jury, and G-Lane are going to have a big influence on this competition because they've brought you in as consultants of entertainment and fun times. So
it's the official title.
It is, yeah. And so
just not on an official basis.
Junior Vice President of Entertainment and Fun Times.
And you're going to have to have a real tough, stern talk to them about food and bev, and how to make it cheaper, easier for people to have a good time.
NZ20, everything's 20. So you pay $20, all you can have.
Oh wow!
Oh, I don't hate that. Or $20 at least for a tray.
Yeah.
Then people can do a $5 a beer.
Everything comes in 20s.
I think we're going to need about a 3-4 day conference, so maybe on the Goldie with the NZ20 team.
Entertainment and Fun Times conference, yeah.
And on first night, we are tackling food and bev. I think that's the first thing to tackle.
But I think we need to basically go to the game and to the games, at least experience it, and just sit on the embankment and find out exactly what, whether it's working or not, and then report back in real time.
Yeah, a bit of R&D.
R&D, yeah. So in real time, we're pretty much texting Heath Mills and going, drop the price. Drop it now. Well, because that's the thing. It's like you don't want to see the people getting discouraged by the experience. You want to have, because it's January. It's a great time of year. Lots of people out and about.
Yep.
On their bloody stand-up paddle boards and all that sort of shit. But it's like, hey, cricket's there. It's a good time. Come along. We've sorted out the food and bev for you.
You do much stand-up paddleboarding?
No.
Neither do I.
I don't think I've ever done it.
I don't think I've ever done it, Joe. You'd be horrendous.
No, balance and swimming is not my thing. I can't swim, so that's probably the worst thing. But
you can't swim?
No, I can't swim. No, never learnt.
But how can you not learn in New Zealand?
Well, I just know how to paddle from one side of the river to the other. But if I'm out in the ocean, I'm like, it is a lifesaver fucking disaster.
But didn't you have to get those little certificates?
I don't know if you've ever seen a cat fall in a bathtub, but that's what Joe looks like.
They don't do that in Goon.
So that's weird, isn't it? Because
you got the Ashley there? The one
just swim across from one side to the other. That's all I knew how to do.
Come on, Rangiora, do better. That's shocking.
When we went to Italy, and there was we were in Sorrento, beautiful place, some bars down on the water, And my partner, who's an actual proper swimmer, she's really good. She grew up swimming for Wellington.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
She's like, come on, let's get in. And I jumped in and then absolutely crapped myself and just had to get back to the wharf.
Yeah.
Didn't really embrace the whole Italian beachside situation.
Our Christmas parties tend to be boat parties as well, so we do have to factor in a pink fluffy flamingo for Joe to float around on.
Yeah, I'm shocked by this, but okay, we'll carry on to next yours, please.
I think we're done
That's
for
it,
the day.
we're done.
Oh, okay.
We've got
Well, Joe, you're off to the pool to get some lessons. I hope for your sake, Mashy, it's not hair washing night for Loz.
It probably is. It tends to be on a Friday night because it's the night before the weekend. She's probably off to Waiheke tomorrow with the girlies or something like that.
Yeah,
leaving me behind.
And to Foxy, don't worry about it because to be
head
honest,
up, fella.
it doesn't matter. I think he's going to win a major, and it just might not be this one. That's fine. I think he will win a major, Foxy.
I reckon McOnie's going to do it again. Looking at it here,
Or he could be one of those guys who's right in contention because there was a famous, or not super famous, New Zealand golfer called Simon Owen, who was in contention in the British Open, and he got overtaken right at the last. And he was young, good-looking bloke, and there's sponsors. I think he got sponsored by Gillette or Schick or one of those.
Nice.
Yeah, to maybe to shave off his mo. I can't remember, but he missed out. I think it was to Jack Nicklaus. So it was like chased down by an absolute freaking legend. Can I check that before we?
You can.
Simon Owen, professional golfer.
Just as you search that up, geez, the office is in hysterics today. It's New Zealand Radio and Podcast Awards Day. The listener won't care too much about it, but once a year we have a nationwide podcast awards, and the nominations are announced on today, out of all days. So, McOnie, if you go back out into the office after this and you see some tension out there, that's just what that is. So feel free to give anyone some stick. When do they release, Joe? When do we find out if we're one of the New Zealand's best sporting podcasts?
I don't know. Some point today.
Yeah, 1978 British Open, second behind
Midday,
Jack
maybe?
Nicklaus, poor bastard. Hey, are we nominated for anything, Joe?
No, we're about to find out.
We'll find out today.
I think once we
today's nominations day.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And then they draw it out for another couple of months before they have the awards.
And then in 3 months' time, we'll all get in touch with our favourite friends in Te Awamutu. And
what I appreciated about our entry for the podcast awards one year was that the audio they played was about a German dad finding out that his son was part of the men's double luge team, going, "No, please tell me you are on the bottom," like this. And anyway, oh no, you're Olympian. How? What? The double luge? No. Anyway. They played that, I believe, and the whole room was going, "What the hell is this?" Some people laugh, but most people are like, "Okay, this is winning entertainment podcast."
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well.
No, it was sports podcast. It might have been sports, so that was sports.
We had a horrendous faux pas last year, since it was the last year of the Matt and Jerry show. The year before, Matt and Jerry did quite well.
Oh yes,
and we won quite a few awards. But there was a bit of audio for some reason that we'd submitted. As the 10-second clip that gets played out to the auditorium if you win.
Yeah.
And it was Jerry for some reason talking to me about a woman that I'd been trying to pest on a work trip as I was sitting right next to my partner who had come for the night. And I tell you what, it really turned the night sour for the next couple of hours. I don't know what
because it was just you guys going,
oh, that was another one. Yeah, that's right. That made it even sound worse.
And then the person who was the host goes, "Okay, so that's your winners."
And the Pinot Noirs won last year as well.
Oh, yeah, Manai was not happy about that.
He wouldn't have been happy about that.
Why? What was that?
The Pinot Noirs won for the best radio moment or something like that of the year because it had managed to get some traction over in Australia or something like that.
Well, Hosking got behind it, so anything that Hosking's involved with gets cut through.
So I don't know.
Does Manai not like Peanut?
No, he thought it was the ugly side of Warriors fandom.
Okay, yeah.
You can understand.
I can understand that. Yeah, Manai Stewart, man of the people.
He didn't love the idea of white men in their 50s drinking wine on the couch at home, judging the Warriors after not giving a shit about them for the last 30 years. I don't hate that take from Manai.
Can I give some credit to Mike Hosking? I feel like he's almost day one. He cared about the Wires when they're going through some tough times.
Oh yeah, no, he's an OG.
He is I'm sticking up for.
As for Heath, not 100% sure.
Oh, sorry, Matt Heath. Yes, no, 100%. Let's throw him under the bus while we can.
That was a new thing.
His fandom is all over the place, and his double Blues Highlanders fandom is just absolute cringe. And all he does is he does it so he gets invited to Eden Park. There, I said it.
Yeah, well, no, we've said it. And I'll do it if I can get an invite. Nick Sautner, if you're listening. Okay, Uru, see you next week. Love yous, fuck yous.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.